One pink wheel here. This is a 2007 Mazda 3 sedan. We're going to be changing the passenger side, or number 3, right side engine mount. This is the new one. So we've got a bolt here, a bolt here, and a bolt here, and a bolt here. General procedure is to put a jack underneath the engine to support it, and then we're going to take this off, the fluid reservoir, coolant reservoir, and then we'll undo each of the bolts, and then we'll put this in and tighten it back up, and hopefully that will be it. The symptoms I had for this were at about 55 to almost 70 miles an hour. I would get extreme vibration in the right side. It felt like there was a shock worn out, or perhaps felt like something wrong with the right side suspension or tire or wheel. But there's a crack, and I'm not sure if you can see it, in this. There we go. See, that should not be there like that. It should be nice and solid. So, not good. Although, yeah, it should be solid. That one's solid. So, should be pretty easy. It's on jack stands, and then I put the jack right there, over all the way on that side, so it kind of holds it up better angle for it. Okay, for the coolant tank, we got a tab here that we're going to have to pry with a screwdriver, and there's another tab over here also the same way. They're pretty strong, so you're not going to use your fingers. You're going to need to use a screwdriver and pry it out. And then we're going to want to take the coolant tank, leave the hoses attached, and just kind of slide it over here. That way we don't have to mess with any coolant leaking or anything like that, hopefully. Let's see how hard this is. There we go. Okay, now for these 4 bolts, these 2 you're going to need a deep socket, 17 millimeter. Those are also 17 millimeter. I put some penetrating oil on it, especially if you are going to use just a breaker bar. I've got a impact wrench, so it should be a little easy for me, but I think they'll come off with a breaker bar without too much trouble. Okay, so I encountered a slight issue. I didn't have the engine jacked up on the right spot, so these were rubbing on here and I couldn't take this off. So I ended up jacking the vehicle up. It's on jack stands, and then I put the jack right there, over all the way on that side, so it kind of holds it up better angle for it. And now it just pulls out. So as you can see, cracks all over. And I don't think that should be unattached. That's supposed to be attached. It shouldn't be loose like that. Now before we put the bolts on either side in, we want to make sure that this is as centered as possible before we put those bolts in on both sides. And you may have to lift the engine up a little bit or wiggle this a little bit, but you want to make sure it's centered as much as possible. That'll reduce